They streamed towards the fence which contains them, Palestinians in their thousands. And as the tire burners sent their smoke towards Israel and Jerusalem, Ismat Hassanein, a teacher, told me Jerusalem was his capital.
Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine, not the capital of Israel. No Israel but Palestine. Palestine, 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 Palestine.
We are going to Jerusalem, they chanted, even if it costs us many martyrs. About 300 meters from the fence, the more cautious lined up to watch the spectacle unfold. Behind them, the discarded leaflets dropped by Israeli jets, warning them to stay away. Just after 11 a.m., a crowd snaked towards the border itself, trampling through fields of chili plants, well within range of Israeli snipers. We watched Palestinians running at the fence, apparently not minding if they were shot or not. And it was then that the shooting started. Every time we heard the crack of a bullet, it was followed a few minutes later by a stretcher. Nobody we saw being carried off had appeared to be armed. We were there for several hours. Ambulances had been on standby, but as fast as they came, they simply couldn't keep up. Emergency workers risked their own lives treating the injured close to Israel's front line. Israeli drones weren't just watching these protesters, but firing at them, launching tear gas canisters. It wasn't clear what their target was, but several times we ran for cover. Israel has not disclosed its rules of engagement, but it is shooting those who either go near the fence or try to cut across it. And that could constitute a breach of international law, which says that lethal force should only be used as a last resort in response to serious injury or the imminent threat of death. For every Palestinian who was shot, it seemed there were many more determined to take their place and attack Israel's fence. This afternoon, the Israeli army produced this video of what it said was a terror cell's attempt to get across. They said their troops had come under fire from elsewhere in Gaza, though no Israeli soldier has been reported injured in the last 6 weeks of protests. By the time we reached Gaza's biggest hospital, the ambulances were arriving every minute. It's hard to believe scenes like this keep Israel safe, creating as they do new hatreds, new martyrs to the Palestinian cause. A British surgeon working here told me all 12 operating theatres were full.
Between 10:30 and 2, there have been 29 major cases. There are another 10 to 12 in theatre.
And it's only 10 to 3.
It's only 10 to 3. And on my way down, I counted another dozen.
And what are the major injuries you're seeing?
Well, there are a lot of leg injuries, but there are many abdominal and chest. There are 3 or 4 head injuries, including one in a 13-year-old boy.
The use of live bullets has left dozens dead here, and health officials say many hundreds injured. It may have been a glorious day for Israel, in the words of its Prime Minister, but it has been a disaster for the Palestinians. Jonathan Rugman, Channel 4 News, Gaza.
And Jonathan is live in Gaza now. Jonathan.
John, there's no question I did see some Palestinian youth throwing stones at the Israeli soldiers, but I have to repeat that as far as I could see, nobody I saw up on that border today was armed. In fact, there were Palestinian protesters who had been shot in the previous weeks who were coming back to that border to be shot again. And I don't think this is just about Donald Trump opening a new US embassy in Jerusalem. It's not even about the prospect of these Palestinians in Gaza returning to their lands in Israel, which were taken from them when the British mandate ended 70 years ago this week and Israel was created. What this is really all about is 11 years of stifling economic blockade, 3 wars with Israel in that time, but a blockade not just by Israel but by Egypt as well, the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank imposing restrictions too on Hamas, which governs Gaza. And I think what we saw today was a gasp of air, a gasp to be recognised, and a gasp for this economic blockade to be ended.